Welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
Maybe it is.
This is Chris. Oh, it is.
We don't know for sure.
Can't be sure.
We are back with a new review. We are finishing up the Matrix trilogy with Matrix Revolutions. It's my favorite trilogy of all time.
Ooh.
Yeah, I stand on that.
Even
more. No, say it.
Even more than this original Star Wars trilogy?
Oh. Oh. What did I give those movies? A 3?
Collectively, probably.
Probably, right? Because the first one was, I'm pretty sure I gave it a 2.
Yeah, I think you did.
Which sucks for that because it's the same as Suicide. I think I gave it a 2.5 because I remember thinking I gave Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey a 2. I got to give it higher than a 2 because of what it brought me.
Yeah, that's fair.
They couldn't deal with their own failure, so it brought me back to the new stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 2.5. I'm sure I gave the other 2 a 3 or like a 2.75, but it was no higher than that.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Ewoks were
even more than
hated them.
Even more than the Lord of the Rings trilogy. You like this one a little more.
I wish I could watch it. I tried. I really did. I put it on and I was like, I don't remember a single scene that I've seen.
That's fair.
But I definitely watched the first one and I couldn't tell you what happened because I was like, this is boring, and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep.
That's fair. They're kind of long. They're kind of really long.
Same.
And if you're not in the whole like high fantasy wizards and magic shit, which I
like
forget
magic.
if you are.
I don't know. What else is there?
I don't know.
Besides Lord of the Rings.
That,
Harold Potter?
yeah, I know I'm not into that. I'm not into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I don't care about Harry Potter.
I didn't care. I watched all of them, though.
You see, I've seen a few of them, and I didn't really care about
You didn't watch all of them?
No.
Well, that's fair.
No, because I
watched them all.
I think the very first one I ever saw might have been like the second or third one, and then I went with a friend to go see like whichever the first movie was that they did like a 2-parter. I went and saw the first or second part of it.
I think it was like Deathly Hallows or something.
I forget which one it
was.
was.
The last one. It's the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I went and saw one and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. I was like, I know these movies started when that kid was a child.
Now he's an adult.
Now between every scene he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow.
That's one of my favorite jokes I've ever heard. It's like, Harry Potter, he looks like Harold Potter. And I was like, I will call him that from now on. Because why not? But so speaking of Harry Potter, he's in Now You See Me.
I saw the second one. I was texting you about it the other day. Woody Harrelson plays his own brother. What the fuck?
I don't know. I've seen him, but you haven't. I will neither confirm nor deny.
I saw him on screen with himself.
I don't understand the question, so I won't respond to it.
Fair enough. But is he in both of those? Is
Woody Harrelson?
Harry Potter?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he's only in the second one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was Woody Harrelson in both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody. The only person who doesn't come back is the lady from the first one. I forget her name. Is it Rebel? It might be Rebel. Is that her name?
Allie?
Yeah. Is that a real person?
No.
Okay. Who played her?
I don't remember.
Oh, the girl from the bag lady played her. Lois Lane played her. Shit. Sorry. The bag lady from The Office. The purse lady. Sorry.
Okay.
She played her, right? Didn't she? In Arrested Development?
I don't think so.
Who played her in Arrested Development? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. But I think I know who you mean.
Okay, so the woman I'm thinking about, I think she was in Wedding Crashers. Never seen it?
I didn't care for it.
That's right, you don't like it. But she was in it. At least I think she was in it. I don't really know.
There's got to be a way We can figure this out.
Let me pick out my encyclopedia.
I looked it up on the Wycopediah.
Oh, Wycopediah.
is Isla Fisher? Isla Fisher?
Yes, that's her name.
I don't know the pronunciation.
She was in Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
Yes. And she was also in Arrested Development.
Yes, she was.
She was Rebel, whatever.
Yes.
So she did not come back for the second one.
Okay.
They
because they went to England, and I only saw like bits and pieces of this one, the second one. They were in England, weren't they? Because like Michael Caine was there.
Yes.
They talked about the
Well,
Thames.
he's in the first one.
Okay. They
Yeah.
talked about the Thames River. Daniel Radcliffe seems like he's his son.
I don't remember.
I got bits and pieces of it, and I know that the Hulk's in it.
To be fair, I do remember, but I'm not telling you.
Oh, that's
I'm just
fair.
gonna have to let you watch it.
Maybe we could do like just a movie night. Like watch those, honestly.
Yeah, fair. Because I got them.
Do you?
Not on DVD, no, but
Still.
streaming, yeah.
There you go. Even better.
So, when I say I have them, my sister has them. So, but
Okay. They are had.
same. That's where I seen them at. So.
Okay.
Either way, today is brought to you by Lemonade Slushies. Very good, very lemony, very delicious as well.
I like it.
Let's actually, you know what? Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers, need some likes. All right, and welcome back to this again. Great job, Keith.
God. Welcome back to this again.
Talking about our social medias. We're going to go straight into Chris with the cast on the cast.
All right. Matrix Revolutions. Here we go. Third movie. We've got coming back Keanu Reeves as Neo. We've got surprise Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity. Jada Pinkett Smith as Niobe. We've got, oh gosh, here we go. Harry Lennox as Locke. Nathaniel Lees as Captain Mifune. We've got Colin Show as Seraph. Okay, I think a lot of the people after this are fairly new. Well, no, I guess not. We've got Lambert Wilson back as Merovingian, Monica Bellucci as Persephone, Ian Bliss as Bane, Nana Gay as Z, Helmut Bakaitis as the Architect, and, alright, newcomer Mary Alice is taking over the role of the Oracle.
Yes.
Because Gloria Foster passed away, I'm not sure how long.
In between the movies. So, yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that,
Don't forget about Link.
yes, Harold Perrineau is back as Link. We've got David Roberts as Roland, Fellowship Captain. Clayton Watson is back as Kid. How can we forget Hugo Weaving's back as Agent Smith, the Agent Smith, all of the Agent Smiths. Cornel West is back as Counselor West. We've got Bernard White as Ramachandra. And Bruce Spence as the Train Man. Aside from that, that pretty much just leaves podcast favorite Kevin Michael Richardson as Deus Ex Machina, the big fucking robot face.
Yes.
Who
Yes.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let it come up because I know it's in everything. So
I wrote it down.
So
you know I did.
that
Wrote it down.
that is the quick and dirty cast of the Matrix Revolutions. I'm going to throw it over to Keith for the plot.
All right, plot it up. Okay, so Matrix Revolution Matrix Reloaded ends on a cliffhanger to Chris's chagrin. And
you had to wait a super long time in between.
A week? It's a long time. In real life, it was 6 months. They released Matrix Reloaded in May of 2003, and then they released Revolutions in November of 2003. So 6 months, easy peasy.
That's not bad.
That's really not bad.
Because I know we've talked about this before, but how long was it between Infinity War and Endgame?
A year.
A year?
About a year.
And that was rough.
That was brutal because
there was also movies in between.
Just one, Wasp and two Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel.
Like there were a couple in between, and then that I was like, that was tough.
Yeah, because I didn't. Did I see them both? Maybe I did. But yeah, no, it was 6 months easy, like easy. So that's cool. But yeah, sometimes you gotta wait a long time. Yeah, was it a year between Endgame? Because in between, not only those two movies, but people figured out what the name of the movie was called. Then they figured out, what else did they figure out? I don't know. They just everyone was trying to figure out the whole last Endgame. And I was just like, can we just wait for the movie to come out and not talk about it and try not to spoil it? And it was just dumb. And I hated it. And then they figured out the name of the movie. They were like, they asked, because, they do these, like, interviews. And they asked the directors, like, is the name of the new movie going to have already been said? They said no. And then when Endgame came out, they're like, we knew it was going to be Endgame because they had figured it out. They were because I think Doctor Strange says it.
Yep.
Or something. So.
Yeah, it's like we're in the Endgame now.
And people were pissed about it. I'm like, so what? It's a great name. Fuck off.
Sorry you figured it out. Sorry you ruined it for yourself, I guess.
Yeah, literally that's what happens.
I don't get it.
Same. So either way, so it ends on a cliffhanger. Neo's knocked out. And Bane is knocked out. Bane, as we know, is Agent Smith in a human form. So it starts off with them two on the table, and the doctor says Neo doesn't look like he's in a coma. These readings are weird. Trinity goes, what's so weird about him? She's like, he looks like he's jacked into the Matrix. Then we find him in basically what I personally think is limbo. He's in a place between the source above ground and the real world below ground. So he's in the middle part. I don't know if you want to call it limbo, but I don't know what else to call it.
I was thinking like purgatory.
Is it? I thought they both were the same.
Yeah, but I mean it's like two words for the same thing. But the first thing that came to my mind was purgatory. I was like, okay,
that's fair.
This is like a nice, happy in between spot.
Yeah, just waiting, just ask for forgiveness, and then you're able to go.
It's waiting for the train to one place or the other.
Yeah. So we find out that that Neo is connected to the Matrix. He's connected to the source, and that's why if he went to the source, like the architect said, the Matrix would end. Or I'm sorry, the war would end. Then we find out outside of the Matrix, he's connected to the one he's connected to the source because the one and the source are one and the same. So he was able to stop Sentinels outside of the Matrix, which was like a crazy power that was introduced at the very end of 2. So he doesn't know why he's there, but he can't leave because the Merovingian controls the train station, which is Limbo, is what they call it. They call it the train station. The Merovingian, he controls it, and he doesn't want Neo to leave until he gets the eyes of the Oracle, because he wants to kill the Oracle. Because we find out that the Oracle is playing a game with the Architect and the Merovingian by helping Neo. And they don't like that. So there was a consequence of her, but she got a new form, quote unquote. So they want to come for her. Smith is back. When does he show up? Well, he shows up in Bane.
I think he shows up for the first time when Seraph is taking the girl from the train from the Oracle's place. Because he hits the elevator button and the elevator doesn't come on. And then you see, like, the shoes making, like, footsteps, and then all of a sudden, like, there's dudes on the stairs. I think that's
so. That's a little bit later.
I think that was the first time he was shown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's what I was saying. Smith is Bane, though. He was up. He was alert. He was alive. And they were trying to figure out what happened because they found him among a wreckage where he triggered an EMP, and the robots or the Sentinels came and killed everybody. So he was up and about they were trying to figure him out. In the meantime, Neo goes to the Oracle to find out why everything is happening. And like she told him, it's all up to him now. She believes you have to make a choice. And he goes, why won't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me about the architect? Why didn't you tell me about the source? Why didn't you tell me about the ones before me? She was like, you weren't ready to know. And of course he wasn't, because how do you tell somebody that the first time you meet them? Not only are you the one, but also this is the sixth time this has happened and they killed everybody.
Nice to meet you, newest Jesus.
Exactly. So after the conversation with the Oracle, Neo realizes he has to go to the source anyway to stop the war. And then from there, chaos pretty much ensues. Agent Smith, he takes a hold. He can duplicate himself, as we learned in the second one. He duplicates himself into Seraph and the Oracle. And a little girl, doesn't matter who she is, but also her too. And the Oracle tells Neo he's gonna have the power to destroy the world, and that's exactly what he does. He destroys the Matrix from the inside because he's as powerful as the Oracle now, and apparently she's very powerful in the Matrix. So, while the Matrix is all crazy, messed up, they devise a plan. I'm sorry, I forgot about Zion. Zion is still under attack from the Sentinels. They're about 20 hours out, and they're coming down to kill everybody in Zion. So, everybody from the Nebuchadnezzar, and everybody from the Logos, and everybody from the Hammer, they all team up to try to get back to Zion. In the meantime, they only have 2 ships because the Nebuchadnezzar blew up. Neo takes one of the ships. He goes to the source, and the other ship, driven by Niobe, is going to Zion so that they can use the EMP to kill all the robots, or just kill all the Sentinels before they kill everybody. Yeah. They both do the things that they want to do.
I was just going to say, did they make it?
They both made it. Casualties happened.
On all sides.
To all sides. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else important. I mean, besides the ending of the movie, I mean, everybody dies, basically. But also, not everybody dies. It's a whole thing. Yeah. I think I'm going to stop there.
Okay.
Unless I'm missing something.
I'm going to have you explain some stuff to me.
Oh, love it. That's the plot basically of the Matrix Revolutions, and I am sure we'll get to some of the other tidbits. At least I know I will. So, with that being said, let's go to likes.
Okay.
You want to tag team?
Sure. Because I'm going to be honest with you right now.
Go ahead. What?
I have not seen this movie start to finish ever in my life.
Fair.
So I was, for most of it, just watching.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have a ton of stuff written down.
That's okay.
So yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. Listen, I got enough for both of us. Don't you worry.
Okay. So you want to do like tag team?
Don't you worry. Or if you want to do your likes, I can do mine. It don't matter.
Okay, that'd probably be easier also.
Yeah, let's do that.
Mine, I don't have like a ton because I didn't write down a ton of stuff.
You go.
They're not in any order. So first, like those drill modules, the diggers, that they're using to get into Zion. You know the first thing I thought of.
I think I do.
Ninja Turtles, baby. The Shredder modules, man.
Do I remember?
Anytime he came up out of the ground from the Technodrome, he came up one of those fucking drill things.
I forgot about that.
And I was loving it. Because that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, it's the Shredder!
Yeah.
Waiting for Bebop and Rocksteady's dumbass to come out of that thing and start fucking stuff up.
You're talking about the cartoon, got it.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
And also they like put it in other things at a certain point. But yeah, those drill modules made me think of Turtles. Liked it. Next, dig this.
Oh, yeah.
That was an Arnold line. That was an Arnold line if I've ever heard one in this whole fucking trilogy of movies, and I liked it.
The character Shara before she blew up the arm or the leg or whatever.
They were like double rocket launchers. Like, dig this.
Yes.
Fucking shot it at the digger, and I was like, all right, I like that.
Love it.
I like that.
It was a great time.
It made me smile. I liked it. Honestly, they could have done a lot more of those two characters, and I would have been happy with it.
Yes. I mean, Chara died, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, prior to that, like, they didn't... Like, Z was there, but, like, Chara didn't have... Like, was she in the last ones? I didn't think so. Yeah. It was like...
Brand new character.
Yeah, I was like, if they had done anything with her prior, like, that would have been cool. To then see her, unfortunately, get Dr. Octopus to death would have been more heartbreaking than it was. Even though it was... They got her leg really fucking bad, and then they got everything really bad.
Facts.
Next, like... the Sentinel invasion.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrifying, honestly, at a certain point,
I
because
knew you were about to say
because
terrifying,
at first they were
was.
like, "Oh, we got this under control." That are shooting into the hole that they're all coming out of, and nothing's making it out. And then all of a sudden, the enemy's like, "All right, I'm gonna bump up to like 10% power," and they just came shooting. When
they all
out,
came
they
out,
were pouring out like across the ceiling and everything. And I think I gasped. I think I was like, "Oh."
I know. I looked at you. Were like, "What?"
Because honestly, all I could think of was just like, if that was like bugs or anything disgusting coming out of there, and that was in my home, I would burn my house down and leave.
You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen those videos where the spiders, you kill a spider and then they all...
Yes.
Yeah, ooh, that's literally my...
Yes. Terrifying.
That's my nightmare.
I like Spider-Man. I do not like spiders.
Same.
And I did not like that when I saw those Sentinels come pouring out of that thing. They're like, all right, let's lean on them a little bit. And then they all just started pouring out, and they were already giving them everything they had.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
it wasn't enough. It already wasn't enough because a lot of them were getting through.
Yes.
And they're like, all right, let's go from low to medium. And humanity was doomed at that point, honestly. Like, without the intercession of the hammer, everyone would be dead. Those things were tearing people up. Captain Mifune was a beast. Granted, if you give me a robot suit, I could probably kill at least one thing. But these dudes Captain Mifune was out there, like, he was shooting into the void, and the void was just pushing down on him, and he both hands, he was just
one hand on you.
One hand on you. And the kid came out and reloaded him, and he almost died. But when those things like just overtook Captain Mifune and they just like shredded him, shredded his face. Oh. And then they like showed. I was like, they're not going to show him. Then they showed him. And he just had like a big like.
He had a couple
gashes across his face. He had like that giant one that like looked like it was like right between the eyes. On the diagonal. That was nasty. Yes. And he was like, you gotta open the gate. Yes. I was like, I never completed the training program. Neither did I. Dies. I was like,
a good guy.
Him and the kid exchanged some inspiring lines between that one, and he's like, how old are you, son? 18? Yes, sir. Should have said 16. What about that? I'm 16, sir. 16's not old enough to be in the infantry. Well, I figure whether I'm 16 or 18, the machines will kill me just the same.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Ain't that the damn truth. Get in line, son. I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Right,
honestly,
facts.
You needed every person who could do a thing, and it still wouldn't have been enough because it wasn't enough until the kid shot the gate open and the hammer came flying in and EMP'd everything. That whole thing was very tense. And again, dig it, loved it. Yeah, I liked it. I liked that whole scene.
It's fair.
I'm a big fan of the martial arts scenes in these movies so far.
So good.
But this one was pretty good also. Like the martial arts scenes, the chase scenes, this scene was the standout action scene for me in this movie.
Fair.
Not to take anything away from my next, like the Neo versus Agent Smith scene was very good. Very good.
Fair.
When they each threw a punch and the rain like stopped. Ooh. The rain went back up into the air and then fell down again. Come on. That was incredible. I mean,
that was a great fight.
The fight was great when Agent Smith was raining blows upon him and he cocks back and the lightning strikes behind him and you just see that crazed look on his face and he just gets him.
The cinematography in this movie, top notch, if I must say so myself.
When he punched him into the building, and I swore for a second it was like the training dojo from the first one. I don't know if it was, but it looked like it. And I was going to say it. I was like, is that the dojo? But I didn't want to look like a dummy. No, so I didn't say it. I thought it might have been, but I was like, that's cool. Yep. I just really liked the fight. The whole, just bring it hand gestures. Love that every time.
Every time.
It was good. When the rain, honestly, every time they punch each other and the rain exploded, or when Neo like slow-mo punched through the raindrops, and then you saw him hit Agent Smith's face, and he just like slow-mo, and he pulled his hand away, and you could see the imprint of his fist on there. I was like, that is good.
Some good cinematography.
It's good. I like it. Doesn't make a lick of sense. Compels me though.
That's all that matters.
I liked it. Next, like Agent Smith. I like a cool villain, and I thought Agent Smith has been a cool villain through the whole thing. He's just fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Whether he's just trying to straight up kill you in the first one versus like corrupt you and take over everything in the second one versus having already done that in the third one. Because my understanding of it was he took over every person in the Matrix.
Yes.
Might not have been what it was, but that's the way it seemed. He was lining the streets. He was lining the streets of the Matrix with himself.
Yes.
While his true self beat the shit out of Neo, or tried to. I thought it was cool.
I agree.
He killed the Oracle, or like assimilated the Oracle, and then did that crazy ass laugh scene. Disturbing. Also pretty sure I sent you that GIF or GIF or whatever at some point. I sent it to somebody in the near past, recent past. That's how that goes. And it creeped me out then, and it creeped me out seeing it again.
Fair.
I like Agent Smith.
Did you know it was from that?
I knew it was from these.
Okay.
And when it started, I was like, okay. As soon as he like turned to the camera with those glasses on, I was like, oh, this must be it. And it were. I liked getting to see the fields where they were harvesting the, embryos, fetuses, humans, or soon-to-be humans,
yes,
or cell clumps, whatever you want to call them. I thought that was cool because they showed it in the first one, and I enjoyed seeing it then, and didn't know that it was going to show up in this one, and it did, and I was like, oh, I like that. I also like that Morpheus lived. Because every time I brought him up in the last two, you were like, he's so good. And I was like, I feel like he could go at any moment sometimes. And you just made a face every time that made me worried that he wasn't going to make it through this one.
Sorry.
And I'm glad that he did. No. Kudos to you for not giving it away. Because
thank you.
You know how much I love and hate hearing spoilers sometimes. Mostly hate. But also, this movie's been out for like 20 years almost, so I can't really complain. If you're like, hey, guess what? Morpheus lives. I would have been like, all right, great. I wouldn't have been worried for the rest of the movie because of the last one.
Here's the thing. I know that, like you always say, you're like, that movie's been out for however long.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time telling people what's going on because it's like, if you're going to watch it, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Because there's definitely movies that have been out for a long time. Like, oh, do you know what happens in it? I'm like, I don't care to see it. So you can tell me.
Yeah.
But if prior to us doing this, anyone could have been like, oh, yeah, here's what happens in those movies. And I'm like, okay, fine, you can tell me.
Yeah.
But as soon as we were like, let's do the podcast, and it's like, I don't want to hear anything about these fucking movies because I want to be surprised by this movie that's been out for half of my lifespan. Nearly.
But no, I agree. And that's like, okay, like I asked you about The Usual Suspects earlier. Like, I don't, like, if someone, I saw that movie years ago, but not when it first came out. So I had no idea. So the fact that when people would talk about it, I didn't know what they were talking about. I definitely had it ruined for me, but I didn't know I did.
Oh.
So I was like, whatever. It is what it is. And then watching the movie, I was like, this is a great movie. And then I go back to watch something that ruined it, and I didn't know that they ruined it. And I go back, I'm like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Oh my God, this is great. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm so happy I had no idea. I love being ignorant to certain things, like, because
fair.
Ignorance is bliss. And I had a great time watching.
The saying is true.
Yeah, it really is. So, like, if I don't know what's going on, I don't care if I've seen the movie or not. If I'm going to watch the movie, I need to watch the movie. Yeah. If I think I'm going to watch the movie, like, I'm trying to think of a movie. The new movie Luca just came out. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to watch that. Someone's like, hey, let me tell you what happened. First off, don't. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not interested. But also, okay, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
I just watched that one.
I'm not going to watch it. So, it's not something I care about. It's not something I'm going to think about. I honestly really don't like Disney movies.
It's not something Disney cares about either. Why? Fucking just plunked it down on Plus with no premium access or anything.
Oh, I thought it came out in the theaters first.
I don't think it did.
I thought it did. I'm pretty sure they said it did come out, and then it just came out on Disney Plus.
Oh,
that's what I thought. Because I read an article about it, because they were like,
I thought that it was only. I thought they were just dropping it on Plus because it was like a Pixar movie, because it's like Disney Pixar, because they did it with Soul, they did it with this, and I'm pretty sure they did it with this, and I think they did it with that Onward movie also.
Oh, okay.
Because like Disney movies, they're like, all right, either premium access or theaters or both. But the Pixar movies that have come out in the last couple of years, they're like,
really?
Plunk it on fucking Disney Plus.
That's the thing about Onward. Onward was available to buy, because I think me and you talked about that. It was available to buy.
Yeah, like
that was on Amazon,
like on demand, like instant, like first day, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was on Amazon. I didn't know if it was on Disney Plus, because I didn't know it was a Disney movie at first.
I watched it on Disney Plus.
Okay, but it wasn't to buy.
No, really? Not on Disney Plus at least. It might have been available to buy like through other things.
Yeah, Amazon it was.
Yeah.
So that's
that movie
weird.
Made me cry.
Onward.
Yes.
Either way. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, if you're gonna spoil it, let it be a movie I'm not gonna watch.
That's fair.
But if you're not, if I'm gonna watch it, an older movie, I can't even think of another older movie that I'm like, okay, don't tell me about it, because I've seen most of the ones I care about. So
fair.
There's that. But also, yeah, no,
there's a lot of movies that I don't know that I care about until, like, you'll describe it in a little bit of detail to me, and like, ooh, this sounds good.
I've never led you astray.
And I don't think you ever would, to be honest.
No, because there's a movie. You know, I realized this the other day. I'm like, man, if I don't think a movie's entertaining, I'm not gonna watch it.
Why would you?
Like, no. Well, some people are like, oh, it looks interesting.
Oh.
If I watch a trailer and I'm not interested, I will never see it.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
But some people are like, I don't know if that's gonna be good. I'm gonna see it, but I don't know. No, if I have any doubt, I won't see it.
That's
because fair. Why? That's just wasting my money. And there's movies that I'm like, ooh, I want to watch that, and I've never watched. And I'm like,
definitely movies where I've just like read the premise of it and I'm like, that sounds good, and I watch it and it sucks.
Yes, yeah, don't do that. Like, there was one movie on Amazon Prime during quarantine, and oh shit, who's in it? I don't know. Somebody popular. I think Justin Long maybe. Mm-hmm. But they went to go buy a house, and they're in a neighborhood and they can't get out of it. Like, they went to go look for a house, and the neighborhood is like a cookie cutter house. Like, every house looks exactly the same. And then when they go into the house, next thing you know, they're living in the house, and they don't know how it happened. And they're like, then they have a kid. They didn't have a kid. A kid shows up that calls them mom and dad, and they're like, oh, this is our kid. Wait, how? Like, they don't know how everything is happening. And I was like, that looks good.
That sounds interesting.
And I never watched it. It's on Amazon Prime. Never watched it. Not a single.
That sounds interesting. I'll have to look that up.
I forget what it's called. But because me and my girlfriend were like, this looks amazing. And then, like, it was like, it'll be out in a week. And I'm like, well, during quarantine, that's a long time, pal.
You know how long a week is? That is 7 days.
You know how long a week is when you're sleeping 5 times a day?
Not very long.
Very long. Very long. Either way, I'm sorry. I think you had more, but
I kind of want to look up and see what the name of that movie is now.
But yeah, I
don't want to see Justin Long's house. I want to see a movie about Justin Long and a house.
Maybe Justin Long. I don't really know who's in it, honestly, but it might not be Justin Long. I don't know. Can't be sure. I will.
Huh. That can't be it.
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't think it's Justin Long now that I see it, but I don't know who it is.
Okay.
But either way, the rest of your likes.
That is about it. Well, no. I think I was talking about Agent Smith. I like him as Bane also. Because Bane, the actor Ian Bliss, he talked just like Hugo Weaving did. He was talking just like Agent Smith did, and I was enjoying it.
That's why he was casted. I read that.
He was so good.
He was casted that way because he can do a spot on Hugo Weaving.
So they knew they were going to do that from the second one. Nice.
Well, it happened in the second one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like they knew that it was going to continue on, like, in that direction.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean, that's when he got...
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, it happened at the beginning of the second one,
Yeah,
didn't it?
happened
But it
at the
didn't come up, really, until...
Well, it did, because remember, he was, like, about to go try to kill Neo.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't... I don't think he had a line after that, did he?
Yeah, he had a couple.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was trying to go kill Neo, because, like, he came into the whatever... Then as they were leaving to go see the Oracle or whatever,
he had a knife, didn't he?
He had a knife. He was cutting himself open.
Yeah.
And the kid stopped him because he was like, "Hey, Neo, wait!" And then he was like, "I just want to say good luck." And he walks away. And then after that, they were like, "Oh, we need a volunteer to go help Neo in the Matrix." And he's like, "Oh, we should do that, Captain." He's like, "Bane, sit back, or I'm gonna put you in the lockup." He's like, "Captain," blah blah. Like, so, like, he was there, like, just in the background. And then at the end of the movie,
yeah, because I wasn't really paying a ton of attention to him in the second one, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, because once he had the knife, like when it was him, like as the focus of the scene, I was paying attention to him. But when like everybody else started coming in, I was like, he's not gonna do anything right now.
No.
Where is he?
We only had like the 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Every time he had a scene, he was the focus.
Yeah.
Because he was Agent Smith. So
I kind of forgot about it though, like until the very end. I was like,
yeah.
When he was on the table, I was like, oh shit. Because I completely forgot about it because of that sweet fucking car and truck chase scene.
That's fair.
And all those dope fight scenes in between. I totally forgot.
That's fair.
And then I remembered it at the end. I was like, oh, cliffhanger. God damn it.
I agree. I agree.
Damn.
But yeah, he was, I liked him.
He was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about the end of my likes.
Okay, I can go with mine.
Let's do it.
Walking on the ceiling. When they went to go get to the Merovingian and they had to get past the weapons check.
Yeah, they had to fight the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, the fucking vampires were like, flip, and then they started walking on the ceiling. I was like, that's sweet. I was like, sweet. But, I mean, it didn't matter, but it was sweet. And I just loved it. Next up, Trinity. Trinity is a badass. Trinity has always been a badass in every single movie she's in. Out of the 3, and this one is the same. She's a badass. She was kicking ass during that fight scene. She went into the Merovingian, was like, "I'll kill everybody in this bitch. What's up? Show me where my husband is, so because I will fuck everybody up without a blink of an eye." And I loved her. And what else did she do? She did something else, but I just everything she did, I was just like, she's great. Simple and plain, she's great. Awesome.
I could think of one other thing she did.
Well, when she died?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I loved it, though. Because, like, she was like, I'm good. I'm at peace. You made it. I got you here. I don't know. I love Trinity. Trinity was great. Next up, Nega Neo. I don't know if people didn't think this was a superhero movie, but it is. You got to fight yourself at some point.
I thought about that at a certain point, too.
You got to fight yourself at some point. You say it all the time. You're like, because I know you say you don't like it, but it's, you tell me that all the time. You're like, I don't really like when they have to fight the same versions of themselves. We talk about, like, with Superman.
Did I say I don't like that?
I'm pretty sure you did.
It sounds like me.
Because I was like, it happens in everyone. You're like, yeah, it does. And I'm like,
sometimes I do like it, though.
Fair.
Like an Ant-Man?
Oh, we were talking about Spider-Man, too, because we were like, well, Spider-Man as well. We were like, oh, he has to fight Spider-Man, he has to fight Venom, and he has to, and then Ant-Man has to fight.
Ant-Man was fucking cool, though. That was great.
That's why I was like.
And so, like, some things do it really cool, And some things do it, or it's just like, okay.
I've never not liked it once. Because I don't really think of it that way until you said it. Because I think we were talking about Man of Steel. And you're like, yeah, he has to fight his own, like, who has the same powers as him. And I'm like, okay, I guess I didn't think about it that way. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. And then I started thinking, I'm like, that's every superhero movie.
Yeah, let me see if how I am about this, because let me think. I'm trying to think of like one instance where I thought it was kind of lame, and the main one that comes to my mind is Captain America versus the Red Skull. Because I don't remember.
You did say that.
Because I don't remember that one being cool. Captain America versus Bucky? Yes. Amazing.
Okay, fair. You do mention that a lot. You do mention a Red Skull. Well, I'm not saying a lot, like we talked about it forever, but you did mention that.
Because that one is kind of a bummer.
Okay. So maybe that's one. Maybe I misunderstood and just
Wonder Woman versus Cheetah could have been better. But that was also because I couldn't see a lot of it because it was fucking dark.
I think. Did you like the Ares one?
I don't remember.
Same.
I remember Ares looking cool. Like, I thought he looked pretty cool.
He was okay. Yeah.
But eventually it just came down to like two people with swords. And I'm like,
Fair. Maybe, like I said, maybe I misunderstood.
I'm fickle, I guess. I'm a mystery.
No, it's okay. I was
wrapped in an enigma.
Honestly, I was just using it as like, hey, reference. But I could have been mistaken.
little comment.
Yeah, just a little comment. But maybe you were just talking about the Red Skull one. That's the one you didn't like, because I know you mentioned that one, Red Skull and Captain America, and I'm like, okay, which is fair. I've only seen the first Captain America like 3 times.
That was also Hugo Weaving, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But literally, Agent Smith is the opposite of Neo.
Yeah.
He's the opposite but the same. He's just like, and I put Nega Neo / like every superhero. And that's my thing. I'm like, because again, when you pointed out that every superhero, I was like, yeah, everyone does do it. Okay. Because Hulk and Abomination, like, I know you haven't seen it, but I mean, yeah, I was like, yeah.
There's 2 big green dudes beating the shit out of each other, aren't they?
Maybe it was Green Lantern. We talked about it. Because Sinestro, we brought that up. Or something. Either way, it doesn't matter. I kind of like it. And I really don't mind it whatsoever.
You know, I think I don't either. Now that we've talked about it more, and I've looked at myself in the mirror. Because honestly, I mean, like, the Ninja Turtles fight ninjas and fight the Shredder, who's a fucking ninja.
He is.
Darkwing Duck fights Mega Duck.
Yes.
Who's his evil doppelganger.
Scott,
Nega Scott. Cap and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, fair.
Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket. Iron Man versus Ironmonger. Yeah. I like that one too.
Yeah. And Whiplash. That was a good fight. That's underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 is very underrated.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go on the record and state, regardless of any previous records that I may have been on, it's not always a bad thing. It's not always lame. And if I've said it in the past, perhaps I was mistaken. There are some instances where it can be lame.
I'm not saying you said it.
We'll do it in a way that won't be lame.
Fair.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to fight Nega Chris on the podcast and tell him about how lame it is.
I love it. I love it. Either way. But yeah, I like that. Speaking of that, the Smith and Neo fight number 1. The first fight that they fight. Love it. When he's Bane and Smith. Love it. It's honestly...
When he takes his eyes.
He takes Neo's eyes.
Oh.
And he was like, oh, I can see you. Oh, I remember watching that because I was like, oh no, he's about to kill him. He's about to do something to him. And he ducked. I was like, oh, wait, what just happened?
He looked like Kenshi for the rest of the movie.
Dude, he was pretty legit though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
What does he call him? The blind messiah. As he like sinks into the shadows. I was like, oh, this man's going to come out and stab him. And he didn't.
I thought he was going to mess him up, right?
I thought he was going to like, ooh, I'm behind you.
Yeah. Like, I was like, oh, man. Like, this felt like what's Batman Begins? Yeah. Remember when the guy from Taken was doing all this stuff.
You mean the guy from Phantom Menace? Was doing
Oh
all this
yeah,
stuff.
when Qui-Gon Jinn was doing his Jedi mind tricks on Bruce Wayne. Yes,
He has gambling addiction.
Listen, facts. I was like, okay. I was like, oh no. And he had that big, like, tire. What are those things called?
A tire iron.
Tire iron.
Yeah.
And I was like, whew. And he ducked. He swung. He ducked. And he ducked again. And then he caught it. It was like, oh, I can see you. And I was like, ah. And then he took his fucking head off.
Yes.
I was like, this is great. It's probably one of my favorite scenes.
That was pretty cool.
Because he sees him as he is, not as the person. Because
Yeah.
he can still see, I was blind.
Yeah, he was Daredevil.
Now I can see somehow.
He was Daredevil.
However that song goes.
Neo fell face first. He fell eyes first into the acid.
Blind guy McNeo.
All his enemies in the Matrix hate him.
Yeah, so I love that. I love the first fight. It was great. Niobe is a badass.
Mm-hmm.
She is sweet. The way she drove that fucking ship, you can't tell me that she isn't a badass. I mean, she's always been a badass, but she was a badass in the second one. She was a badass in this one, and she's just Jada Pinkett always plays women who are super strong. She's never the weak link, and I love it because hey, if you don't need to act that often, act what you want to act. And I love it. Like, pick your own roles. And she was so good. And she was driving the hell out of that ship.
Between her and Morpheus in the helm of that ship, he was the weak link.
Yeah, Morpheus. Do you ever see Morpheus as a weak link? He was like, okay, 80 and 20. She's like, all right, put me at 60. 60 and 40. 60. Keep up, Morpheus. Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah. I don't have a katana.
Right.
I don't have my glasses. I don't know what to do. I can't see without my glasses.
Right. Exactly. Like, Morpheus, this is the Matrix. But it was great. Yeah. I thought she was driving that ship. And, like, a testament to this movie is the way they shoot things were so fucking good. When they first get on the ship and they're driving real slow, he's like, oh, we're going to bottom out. And she's driving because they're trying not to get noticed by the Sentinels. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, it hits something. They hit something, and all the Sentinels start coming. And she's like, "Give me full power, blah blah blah." And then they do like a swan dive. They go up, flip around in the air, and come. It's one of the best shots of the movie.
She's Han Solo.
Yeah, listen, I mean that was the Millennium Falcon, was it not?
Yeah.
Like,
she was Han Solo.
That scene, those scenes together remind me of the Millennium Falcon, but better because, like, to be fair, it was better because they were like, "Hey, get on the turrets." I'm like, "Oh, this." I said this to Chris in the movie. I was like, this." They're like, "Oh, Star Wars." I'm like, "Yes, but better."
Yeah, because they're actually hitting people,
and there's more than just two ships coming at them. There's 1,000 Sentinels,
and they were getting tore up too.
Ooh.
Like, they were hitting them, and they were getting. Their bullets were shooting off inside the ship, killing people.
Because the Sentinels broke something.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, they were dead.
That dude got it right through the chest.
He really did.
Great.
I was like, fuck. It is what it is, but she was driving the hell out of that ship. And then one time, she was like, 90 degrees starboard, literally, like, stopped. And it was like, how's that song go? Do, 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 do. I felt like Fast and the Furious.
God.
By the way, I love that song. It's a great song.
Bunch of family on that ship. It's all family there.
So she was just a badass. I love Niobe. Let's see. Oh, the machines are methodical. The way the drills, they drilled through the Earth's something. They drilled through the Earth to get to Zion. The drill drops. They're like, oh shit, they're in Zion. So it literally, first time watching the movie, I was like, dang, that's okay. The drill, that's smart. I get it. And then the drill stood up. I was like, Oh, they're not playing.
Yeah. Also, the drills were like falling through their like bridges and walkways and
Yes.
shit. Yeah.
Like, they were just like, okay, drill through and then just let it drop.
Yeah.
And it's going to create so much damage. There's nothing you can do. And then they had a thing, it was laying on its side, and then it started cranking itself back up, and it had like 3 legs. And I'm pretty sure I remember that scene from Man of Steel, because I'm pretty sure the change engine had that too. I'm almost certain. Maybe it didn't. But there's a movie we watched where I was like, that's what it reminds me of. It had the 3 legs. Boom. They kill one of the legs, and then it does it again, and then it sticks like, nope, we're here, we're fortified. And I was like, that's just the Matrix. It's a couple likes down, but Megamind.
Yep. I knew it. Yeah. As soon as it happened, I looked over. I was like, we talked about this forever ago when we watched Megamind.
Go listen to the Megamind
Yep.
episode. I definitely talk about the Matrix in it. Those little squiddies look like his fucking robots. Simple and plain. Then when he was coming through, you're not a super villain. You're just a villain.
What's the difference?
And he made a face, like he made Megamind's face out of the robot.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Deus Ex Machina was. It was literally a face, and it was talking. Speak. I loved it. Who we find out was Kevin Michael Richardson.
Wow, what?
Friend of the pod.
God. My God.
Literally, I was like, this is great. I was like, I love everything about it. But the machines, like, and then not only that, while the drills were standing up, the other squiddies were circling it. So when they went to go shoot it, they shot one of the squids.
Yep.
Listen, like that's good thinking right there. I loved it because it can't protect itself. The drill can't. So hey, then everything they did the EMP burst, and all the squiddies die. Everything's dead, even in Zion. Like as far as electrical. Then they give the drill a jump start.
Yep.
Like if you listen to it, I don't know if you heard this, but if you listen to it, it sounded like a car engine. Like, it was like, like the whole time. And I was like, this is great. This is fucking amazing. So, yeah. Once the Sentinels got into Zion, it became a full-on action movie, and I loved it. It became a full-on action movie. It was from 0 to 100. There was nothing coming, and then all of a sudden, all these Sentinels came from out of nowhere. And they were killing them with the little, I don't know what they were called, APV. What were they called? APUs or something? The robots that they were manning. The little exoskeletons.
I have to look it up because if it's APUs, I'm just going to call them Apus. I don't think I should do that.
That's fair.
Matrix robot suit.
I'm pretty sure that's what they are. APUs.
Yeah, APU, armored personnel unit.
Yep. So the exoskeleton they were wearing.
Never seen it, but way better than the ones in Avatar.
Excuse me. No, factual. And I don't even know why I brought those up. But anyway, they're just standing there, and then as soon as the Sentinels come in, it just turns to an action movie. And I loved it. I loved every part of it. From that point up until the second Neo and Smith fight, that's literally, it was just an action movie, and I loved every second of it. Let's see. Next, like Chara and Z, they were great. She was making shells, and the one lady, her sister-in-law, was like, "Hey, we got to go there evacuate." She was like, "I'm making shells." They called for volunteers at the gate. She was like, "No, don't do this. You're gonna die." She was like, "I love him." It's like, if there's a chance to bring Dozer back, what would you be doing? She was like, making shells.
Yep.
I was like, that's fair. She already lost both her brothers. Now she's all on the brink of losing her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make some shells too.
Yeah, why not?
What else are you going to do?
I can sit in the cave and be scared, or I can try to help.
It reminded me of World War II when women went to work. After all the men were drafted to go to the fucking war in Germany or wherever, and all the women went to work in the factories. Like, that's really what it was. I was like, okay, cool. Next up, the orchestra music, especially towards the end. Great.
Duel of the Fates, man.
Did you hear it? Like, it wasn't there, but
It wasn't there, but it was there.
It
I was
there.
hearing it. Like that when that choir started kicking in, I was like, all right, this is suited. This fits.
I loved it. I love the Duel of Fates. It's like my favorite song ever. But yes, this orchestra music, man, it just made you feel something. Especially when Smith was around, when Neo couldn't see. I was just like, this is so fucking good. That's my like. I got a couple more. I got two more. I have two more. First one, the Neo Smith fight, number 2. Greatest fight. I'll say it. It reminded me of the fight in Man of Steel. They're flying around, hitting each other.
Flying directly at each other with their fists out.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good. This is so good. I fucking love it. It was an amazing fight. And then at the end, he was like, oh, I've seen this before. What else did he say? He's like, oh, I've seen this before. I was standing right here. Yes, yes. Oh, and you were standing right there. And then I say something. What do I say? Everything. What does he say?
Everything that begins has an end.
Yeah, everything that begin has an ending, or everything that has a beginning has an ending. Neo, and he was like, "Wait, what did I just say?" Because he doesn't call him Neo.
He always calls him Mr. Anderson.
Oh, that's the Oracle coming out. That because he was the Oracle at that, like he transformed himself into the Oracle, and I was just like, "This is good. This is so good," and I loved it. I just loved the fight. It was a great fight. Last one. The Christ sacrifice. I don't know if we ever said it, but this movie is an allegory or a metaphor or simile to Christ. What else is there? Every single time they showed that light, everything made of light, like I was like, oh, well, that looks like heaven. That looks like heaven. And then the way, like when they were carrying Neo away, because he died, I guess. They were carrying him away, and they show the machine as a ball of light, and the way its arm moved looked like an angel's wing.
Yep.
And I was like, subtle.
Or when the cables from the robots were in him, and like he started to like power up and like do the sacrifice thing, they all lit up, and it looked like he had fucking wings.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. So when like the light started coming out of his eyes and mouth, and it looked like he had wings. Yeah.
So good. Oh man. Yeah, so those are my likes. Good times, man. I love this movie. Before we get to dislikes, you said I had to explain some stuff to you. What do you got? Because let's do that.
The end part.
Okay.
With like the rainbow sky sunset thing.
Okay.
When the Oracle was like, "Did you do that?" to the girl, and she's like, "Yeah, I did it for Neo." I didn't get that.
She's a machine. She's a program.
Yeah.
So in the program, programs can do what they're designed to do. But since she wasn't designed to do anything, like, or because she didn't really have a thing, that doesn't mean she can't change stuff. It's like the Merovingian, he can change stuff, but he doesn't have what do you call it, a purpose anymore. So they're supposed to get deleted. Merovingian is an exile. The little girl is also in exile.
Yeah,
because she should have been deleted.
She wasn't supposed to exist.
So we have to assume, I guess this is just me assuming, I guess, but we have to assume that she can do something.
Okay. And
most of the time, the programs can change stuff.
Okay.
And that's basically what I just get out of the Matrix. They're a program, they can change stuff. Even if they don't have a purpose, they can still do different things.
Like because they're an anomaly, they have like something that they can do? Like they have some kind of ability, or
no, not necessarily ability, but the Matrix is a computer program.
Yeah,
I think of it as like this. I think of the Matrix as a computer, and then there are, I guess a computer. But anyway, I'll just use it as the as the programs. You have programs, they're all useful until they're not. And if they're not useful, you should delete them or update them. But if you don't, that doesn't mean that they still can't change stuff in your computer.
Okay.
So if I have an old program that's causing my computer to shut down every 5 minutes, I should probably delete that program.
Okay.
But in the Matrix, they're not deleted, but that doesn't mean that they still can't affect the Matrix. They don't have powers like the one, but more or less like they can change stuff. So I just kind of feel like maybe she just made the sky beautiful for Neo, or personally, I also think that that light wasn't the sun. It was the sun, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And she made it happen.
Okay.
That's what I got from it.
Because it looked a lot like the ball of light that he was in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. So
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Why she would do that for that, because
Yeah.
again, they're programs, so they don't see Neo as Neo. They
Yeah.
see him as the one, just like he doesn't see them as people. He sees them as the Matrix reading. So that's, yeah,
Okay.
that's how I see it as.
That was the main thing, I think, that I just
Oh,
didn't,
okay.
that I didn't like that part. It's like, okay.
It honestly, it probably has a deeper meaning, and I don't know it,
Me neither.
and I'm okay with that. But yeah, so that's it. That's it. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
that's about it.
All right, so let's go to dislikes. You got any?
I don't.
Okay. But again, like you said, you're just watching.
Yeah, I wasn't like, nothing jumped out at me. I was like, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was dumb, or I thought that was lame. Like, nothing really jumped out at me.
That's fair. I have two.
Okay.
One was because it's a great GIF, whatever. But it's a weird laugh, and I do like it, but I was like, it's a little campy. It's a little campy.
That's fair. But isn't it like the first time you really see any emotion out of Agent Smith?
Yes, I guess that's fair.
Like, I'm not trying to justify it, but
No,
like,
no.
but like, isn't that like the
I think
first
you're
time you
right.
see it?
When you say it like that, okay, that makes sense because he doesn't really show emotion.
Yeah.
So I get it. It is weird though.
Yeah, it is weird.
But it's funny, and it's a great GIF. It's a great GIF, or whatever, however you say it.
I'm not sure how it should be said.
No one knows. They say somebody knows, and then I still go back and forth.
Geif?
I don't say that.
Geef?
What's the one I can't say? Oh, it comes around full circle.
All right, Bob.
All right, Bob.
I think we're done here.
Oh man, good times. Number 2, Superman fight.
Dislike?
Yeah,
Oh.
because it wasn't as good as the Superman fight. No, to be fair, like we talked about in the Man of Steel movie, you could see what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was clear. This was shrouded in the dark because of the rain. They were fighting at night. Some things weren't as clear.
That's
but
fair.
To be fair, I only dislike it because I've seen someone do it better. That's it. That's the only reason why. Because someone does it better, and it makes me appreciate that one more. Because that's the reason why I call it a Superman fight. Because literally, I want to give more props to that of how good that looked.
Yeah, and you clearly didn't dislike it, like, in terms of, oh, I thought it was bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I've seen this better. You talked to me 10 years ago now, great fight, 100%. Nobody can do it better. 2 years later, because remember, Man of Steel came out in 2013, long time ago. Man of Steel is old at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. So I don't dislike it for that, but like I dislike it for knowing, like, okay, someone did it better. I like both of them. But man, the clarity that you see in the Man of Steel fight, as opposed to, because there were some scenes in this one where it was like, okay, what just happened? What just happened? Like, yeah, they're hitting each other, and it was. Don't get me wrong, it was clear. This wasn't like Transformers. Transformers, when they fight, you're like, I don't know what just happened.
Just a big ball of shit rolling around.
It's
on top
literally
of
it
itself.
is. Like, and I love the Transformers movies, but I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay, somebody's head just got knocked off. Okay, great. We're back. We're back. We're back. Like, that's how I feel when I'm watching it. And I'm like, oh, they're rolling around, and they do a lot of stuff. But I was like, man, if they all weren't the same color metal, maybe it would be better. but I can't. It's not.
Yeah.
So it's not like. So I don't want it to be like, oh, 2003 versus 2013.
Right.
But what I'm saying is 2013 is great. 2003 pretty good. Transformers, whatever year they came out, which was after The Matrix and after Man of Steel, for the most part, you're still not getting it. So it's like, it can be done better. It can also be done worse. So I have to give it its credit, but I also am just, basically, it's not necessarily a dislike. It's a more of a props to Man of Steel. So whatever I rank Man of Steel and whatever you rank Man of Steel, we're just going to bump it up one just because.
Okay.
You know, so you gave it a 4, I think. So 5 for you.
Nega Chris is about to show up again, I think. I think he's about to come out again.
I know. I mean, this is just, I love it.
Love it. Michael.
No, but that's it. It's just a little nitpick, you know, whatever. But I still like the scene, though. So, yeah, those are my dislikes. What about Slushie Meter?
Okay.
I'll let you go first. Unless you want me to go first, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
4.
I think I'm leaning toward a 4 myself, even though I didn't have any dislikes.
Fair.
I don't know. There's some of those parts of this movie where not that I didn't understand what was happening, I just kind of wanted to see it happen.
Fair.
Rather than see, like, okay, like, I thought, like, I know it's necessary for them to go talk to the Oracle again, but, like, who went and talked, like, Neo went and talked to the Oracle,
Yeah.
and then left, and then Agent Smith went and talked to the Oracle,
And then
took her over,
Yeah.
and then, like, there was just a lot of talk of, oh, what did the Oracle say? You know what the Oracle said. What'd she say, though?
Well, that was the Oracle, and I agree with you.
There was just, like, a lot of talk. So, like, I'm leaning toward a 4.
I agree with your assessment, and I do think this is the weakest of the 3. That's why it gets a 4 instead of a 5. There's a lot of talking in the first hour. Not a lot of action. I understand why they had to talk, but also, to me, the train scene, the Merovingian scene, none of that mattered.
Yeah, that like the action parts at the beginning of that were cool, but like the Merovingian part that literally had no bearing on anything. Because like, bring me the eyes of the Oracle.
No,
I don't think that I will. And then Agent Smith was like, I'm just gonna take her over. There was nothing about like, oh, I'm gonna take your eyes or anything like that. It was just like he took her over, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I see through the Oracle's eyes. So like, oh, okay, I get it. But, like, I didn't need for the Merovingian to be like, give me the eyes of the Oracle. With the eyes of the Oracle, I can do whatever.
Right.
Because you already know that. You already know that the Oracle is
everything.
the Oracle.
Right.
Yeah, they spent 2 movies establishing this fact.
All right.
So yeah, while watching it, I was leaning toward a certain score, and I think I will go with that score. I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Okay.
3.75. I was leaning
fair.
toward it because I was like, it's definitely not as good as the second one for me.
No, not at all. Or the first one.
Or the first one. And it's between the first and the second one is a tough call for me of which one I like more.
2.
It's tough.
Dude, that chase scene is...
That chase scene is really good.
And him fighting all the Smiths.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's the second one for me.
That's why I love the second one. That's why if anybody says the second one is the worst, I'm like, what movie did you watch? Secret of the Ooze?
There is no such thing as a weaker second movie in the trilogy.
Same.
And that also goes for Ninja Turtles.
Same.
I'd rather watch Secret of the Ooze than 3.
A lot of people say like sequels are not as good as their original, and I'm like, when people start naming, I'm like, I can name a lot of sequels that are better than the first.
See, honestly, like the first Ninja Turtles movie to me is better than The Secret of the Ooze because
I don't remember either.
The second one didn't need to be made. To be honest, like they wrapped everything up.
Fair.
The Shredder was for all intents and purposes, he was dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the beginning of the second one that they're like, oh, his hand pops out of the trash heap and he's alive. The end of that movie, a man got killed. Casey Jones killed a man when he pulled.
Oh wait, his hand didn't come out in the first one?
No.
Oh.
No. It was the beginning of the second one. His hand comes out of the trash heap.
I thought that was the first one.
No.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but like that one, sequels that are worse. I mean,
or to me, I can like Return of the Jedi.
Okay,
is that 2?
No, that's the third one of the original trilogy.
Yeah, what's 2?
Empire Strikes Back.
You know that one. I don't know what they are.
Well, I know you know. I know you like that one better than.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back was better than the first one.
Yeah.
Listen, what's the other one called? Attack of the Clones, better than the first one.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi, better than the first one.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Like Terminator 2.
I liked them both. But
Terminator 2, better than the first Terminator.
I've definitely heard that.
Matrix Reloaded, better than the first one. I know it's like a tough, and I gave them both 5s, but 2 just has
here's a tough
more.
one. Rush Hour 2. I think I like the first one more.
I'm trying to think what happened in Rush Hour 2. Exactly. With Don Cheadle? I don't know.
It's tough.
Is that the one where he goes into the pool hall, or is that the first one? Jackie Chan's...
I think that's the first one.
Is that the first one? Okay.
Because the first one they're in America, second one they're in China, third one they're in France.
Are they?
Or in Europe?
I don't remember the second one as much. That's fair. I'm not saying it's always like that.
Yeah, see, it's obviously not a hard and fast rule.
But yeah. Too Fast, Too Furious.
Didn't see it.
So good. Ejectocito, cuz Tyrese says that. And it's the best part of the movie. Yeah, so either way. I understand, like I said, that whole part. And I get it. It did give us them fighting the Merovingian, but him being in that train station, I didn't care about.
Yeah.
But I understand that they were trying to show that he was tapped into the Matrix without being tapped into the Matrix. And then somehow, some way, he was sitting in a chair jacked into the Matrix when he got out of the Matrix. How did that happen? So, after he goes to see the Oracle, and then Bane wakes up, he's not on that table anymore. They get him out of the chair. They take the little spike out of his head.
Yeah.
I was like, how did that happen? So, again, me, some of those things I don't really care about because the other parts of the movie were better. So Fair. I'm just like, okay, well, can't have answers to everything.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. I don't really care.
Because, people right now are complaining about, they're going back and bitching about Endgame and Infinity Wars idea of time travel and the importance of the Infinity Stones now that Loki, the series, has happened.
Oh, yeah.
So all those movies were for nothing. Were they, though? You liked them.
You saw them.
You're still going to watch them. You're still going to like them.
Right.
Or is the existence of this show going to be like, oh, these movies don't matter anymore because the Infinity Stones don't work outside of their home dimension?
I mean, but that, again, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's also been established in other comic things that, I'm pretty sure they've done crossovers between DC and Marvel where the Infinity Stones did not work in the DC universe.
That's hilarious.
But stuff like that, I think the anti-life equation did work in the Marvel one. I forget.
Nice.
Because I think it comes up in those death battle videos that I watched, which some of them are stupid and make no sense. But the one where they're like, oh yeah, Thanos will get his ass kicked by Darkseid. And they're like, oh, well, here's why. Because Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, great. You take him out of his dimension, he's not as strong. He's still strong, but he can't use the powers of the thing. You take Darkseid out of his home dimension, he can still do pretty much all of his shit that he could, and he beat his ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
That's fair.
So if the existence of other things makes you hate the things that you already liked, I don't get it.
Honestly, there's not a movie. I was thinking of this when I was watching Schitt's Creek, and her movie Crows came out.
Crows 3?
Yeah, and they were like, the crowing.
Yes.
And they were like, I really wish we could watch the first 2. She's like, don't. Because they absolutely undo everything in the first 2 in this one. So it's better that you don't know have seen them. And I was like, man, that's hilarious. Also, what movie for me has ever erased what was done in the first couple? Because I can't think of any. But that's just me. Like the 9 Star Wars movie, nothing. Even the what's it called? The midi-chlorians. I went with that, and I was like, okay, cool. And then they don't mention them again until 9.
Mandalorian.
Or Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
People were so stuck on that. They were like, "Oh, they never talk about it in the first 4 or the first 3." Okay, they never talk about Qui-Gon Jinn either.
Yeah,
that means absolutely nothing. They never talk about Mace Windu.
No,
but that doesn't mean that you can't introduce new characters that are dead.
Yeah,
when the 4th one comes around.
Yeah. Let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Everybody's still the same. No, that's not how memories work, idiot. I just don't like people. Like, I love to be entertained, Chris.
Same. It's one of my favorite things to be.
It really is.
Is entertained.
I love to be, I like watching movies. I like watching good movies. I feel like I only watch good movies. Besides the 2 we sat through, I can't think of a bad movie we sat through.
For the podcast, at least?
Yeah. We're on our 50-something episode. Besides the Birds of Prey and the other one.
Ooh, I thought of a worse sequel.
Ooh.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, yeah.
Because that movie sucked.
Proves the rule.
Yeah. Took me a second.
Better than acapella. Better than acapella.
God.
That's all I was thinking about when I was saying it.
Took me a second, but we got one.
That's fair. No, listen, I'm not saying that they're... All I'm saying is, a lot of people say, overall, sequels are worse. And I'm like, are they though? Because I like a lot of sequels. And Thor 2 was better. Captain America 2 was better.
Yes.
Ultron was better. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 I think was better. I don't remember either of them.
That's tough. I like them both. That's a tough one. I do like both of them.
That's fair.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp is also tough because I like them both a lot too.
Yeah,
I think I like the first one a little more just because the trailers didn't give away everything in it.
That's also fair.
But it's not the movie's fault.
But no, not No Way Home. What's Far From Home?
Yeah.
I think that was better. With Mysterio?
Than Homecoming?
Yeah.
Yes.
Way better.
Yes, and I still like Homecoming.
Yeah,
but
fair.
yes, this one's Mysterio. Come on.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think it was better too. Even though it did have...
That's tough.
That is tough.
That's tough to hear you say that.
He was better. Gwen was better. Oh, why didn't I think about Dennis Leary in that? Shit.
About what?
Remember we were talking about Dennis Leary earlier?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was in
both of them.
Or no, I mean The Amazing Spider-Man. He was in both of them.
He was a ghost in the second one.
Forgot about that. But yeah, I don't know. And here's the thing, though. If it wasn't for Mary Jane, Spider-Man 2 would be better. Mary Jane ruined that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Doc Ock?
He was good.
Doc Ock was better.
He didn't do anything wrong.
No, never. Well,
I mean, like the character, like Alfred Molina in that movie didn't do anything wrong to me.
That's fair.
I don't know if I like him more than crazy ass Willem Dafoe, though. That's tough.
That's fair.
Finish it.
I'll be back, Spider-Man. As he's tumbling out of the picture.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh.
Or he's just wrapped up in that shawl in a fucking burning building just so we can turn around and jump scare him. Or when he's something of a scientist himself.
Fair.
Or
All
the
the good
fucking Macho
things.
Man exists. I don't know. That's tough. I
You're
think I
right.
like the first
You're
one.
right.
I think I like
You're
the
right.
first
You're
one
right.
more.
You're right. That's fair.
Hey, freak show! What are you doing up there?
So yeah,
movie.
That's better acapella. But okay, yeah. So 3.75 and a 4.
Yeah.
Like I said, I give it. I know.
Man, we got way off track.
But that's why I know that. I know you had someone tell you number 2 was worse. I'm like, no,
Yes.
3. As much as I like 3, as much as I like the trilogy, I know 3 is not as good. I think they wrapped it up well so far because there's 4 coming out. But
yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know how.
It made sense. Because the longest time I was like, no, he's dead. He's dead. Everybody's dead. But then at the end, it's like, will we see him again? She's like, I suspect so. And I was like, I forgot about that line.
I was like, they're making another one.
And that was
Did they
2003.
plan this that long ago?
Yes. I was like, yes.
Did they really plan this that far in advance?
Right,
I'm playing the long con.
Right. And then I saw that only one of the sisters, the directors, are coming back.
Oh.
Yeah, the other one isn't.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it was...
They're like, yeah, we're rich enough.
Fair.
It's like, no, I'm not. I'd trade it all for a little more.
Fair. But yeah, so like I said, I get it. Like I said, if you would have told me, if you were like, hey, he said 3 was the worst, and I'd be like, okay, that's fair. But worst of the 3 best movies ever, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, for you, yeah, that's...
Yeah, like I love these movies, they're great. But I know I look forward to watching 2 every time. That's it.
And that's not a bad thing at all, because that movie was good.
Just show me the kung fu part, the part where he fights Smith in the first one, I'm satisfied. Then show me 2 in its entirety, and I'm good. And I'll watch 3. Yeah, I like 3. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But because when I first watched 3, I remember not liking the last fight. I didn't. I was like, and then I watched it more, and I was like, I kind of like it. And then I watched Man of Steel, and I was like, ooh, this is better. But now I like it more because, okay, good, that's it. So, either way, did we gloss over anything that happened? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Morpheus lived, and everything else happened.
Well,
he better be in the next one. I shouldn't say better. I really, really, really hope he's in the next one. We'll see. Oh,
I'm not saying a word.
God damn it.
Well,
what is there, like a trailer or like a cast list already?
There's a cast list already.
God damn it, Keith.
Sorry.
Well, you know what?
That's how I knew Christina Ricci was going to be in it.
There's always uncredited roles.
That's fair.
So I can
flashback. You know what? I just assume that he's on a farm with the other Zionians and Niobe, just
putting mayonnaise on hot dogs.
Hopefully, I hope so. Him and that shadow girl from Ant-Man and Wasp 2, or Ant-Man and Wasp. They're all living happily ever after with Lois Lane. Because he's Perry as well. Just naming all his movies. He's back there with Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding Jr. for Boys in the Hood. Either way.
He's got some good company.
That's fair. Let's see. That was The Matrix Revolutions. That was our Matrix trilogy. Up next, you'll find out when you find out.
My favorite movie, TBD.
TDB. Which is my favorite saying from The Office. I love watching The Office with my girlfriend, and certain quotes happen, and they're not popular quotes, but I'm like, I literally say that every day. The city, when he says the city, I say that every time I walk outside. I'm like,
I hear you say that a lot. City. I love it.
It's just a throwaway. It's a throwaway little comment. It's nothing. And then when he's talking about the Dunder Mifflin website, that's when he says TDB. He goes, because Ryan's like, Dunder Mifflin Infinity 2.0, blah, blah, blah. Everything's going to be faster and sleeker. And yes, the pedophiles didn't win on the website or whatever, chat feature or whatever. And he is like, then they asked him something, they're like, when does this come out? He was like, as of right now, TBD. And blah, blah, blah. And then Michael tried to save him from all the question. And he goes, listen, Ryan already said this. That's going to be coming out, TDB. Okay. Give it up for Ryan. Everybody clap. Like,
oh, Michael. Everybody clap. Everybody dance now. Everybody dance now.
Is everybody ready? What do you want us to do? Do I have to explain everything? Yes, Michael, you do. And he starts clapping at Gabe, and then they go pay him, and she's like, "It'd be nice to know."
Oh, Gabe.
He's eating Gabe.
I'm gonna give you a hug on your way out. Come here. Ugh. didn't have to make that sound. What? You were bonier than I thought you were going to be. Lots of people love to hug me.
Fair.
I've been with several women where that's all they wanted to do.
It's fair. Aaron. Either way, before we get off track again. So yeah, next up, we don't know. Or
We'll surprise you.
yeah, surprise. It's a surprise us actually, because we haven't talked about it. Oh no, we did. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Still not telling you guys.
Yeah.
Nana boo boo.
It's on a need-to-know basis.
You guys will need to know when we put it out. Either way, so that's it. That's it. Make sure you follow us on all the platforms, and check us out on YouTube. We're getting a lot of views. Have I told you that?
No.
The one. Did I not tell you that?
No.
The one video has like 800 views.
Which one?
I don't remember which one it was. I think it was King Kong, Skull Island.
Nice.
Yep. I was like, oh,
Okay.
I was like, that's weird.
Not sure why it's that one. But
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna
Look a give horse in his mouth.
I'm not gonna throw stones in his glass house. No way.
Fair. That's fair.
No way. I'll take it.
Okay, but either way, yeah, just check us out. We're gonna be done. This has been Keith,
And Chris.
and we're out. Bye. Bye, Pam. Bye, Tuna.